What's up, everybody? This is SLRLounge.com. My name is Pye, and welcome to another week of Constructive Critique. This is where you guys go to SLRLounge.com, click on the forums right here, and that takes you to this page. You just click into the Constructive Critique section of the forums, which takes you here. And here is where we have all of our awesome constructive critique. Once again, please be sure to read the rules before beginning, just so we all have wonderful critiquing etiquette. If you guys are selected as the weekly winner, we give you a $50 gift certificate to the SLR Lounge store. Remember, to win, you do need to post the information on how the image was shot. So include kind of lighting information and EXIF and so forth. All right, let's get started by jumping into our first image. This is First Communion by Ruber. Now, this is first request for CC here, and you have a great shot. It's a really beautiful shot with great lighting, wonderful storytelling kind of capability in the shot, and I really dig everything about it. And you mentioned that you have kind of a difficulty with color grading, but I think you really nailed it with this shot. I like it. It has a tiny bit of a green hue to it, but I really don't mind that at all. I think it works very well with the overall style of the image and everything. Now, the only thing that jumps out here, and I think it's already been probably identified in the comments, is just the eyes. And we went a little bit too far on kind of producing the eyes, and you can tell that they kind of jump out at you. And the easiest way, because you know what, when you're zoomed in on eyes, they are rather difficult to tell if you've gone too bright or not. So when you're zoomed in, take a moment and just zoom out. Even go back to thumbnail view, and you'll notice if the eyes kind of have a big separation between that and other highlights in the image, then you've probably gone too far. I want to make sure that the eyes kind of blend in. And if we check it out, like if we look at the eyes compared to even probably this bracelet, which is probably going to be the bracelet, and the back of this veil will probably be your strongest highlights, the eyes are still brighter. And so that's where we have that kind of issue of it jumping out too much. But otherwise, this is a great shot. That's a really easy fix. So once that's done, you have a really nice shot there. So great job, and let's go on to the next image. Here we have Dude Under the Pier. Let's take a look at the shot. Actually, let's talk about how it was shot first. It was a, let's see, went to grab the sunset with some HDR shots. This young guy walking along the beach, asked if he mind posing. Didn't have time for HDR or any compositional stuff. Just grabbed it. Let's see, it was a 3-part bracketed sequence, and it was at f/29, ISO 100, 1/13 of a second, 35mm on a D600 with the Nikon 18 to 35 lens. Oh, that's cool. You must have some sort of adapter or something. So, all right, let's open up this image, and we have a really nice shot here. Now, I dig the shot, and I love how much color there is in the shot. I think as far as HDR goes, again, this is a very preferential thing. Processing is a huge thing, and I think for this shot, we might have a little bit too much over processing, which we can notice over in the haloing. So look at these edges of shadow versus highlight contrast, and we can basically see this little halo effect appearing around these objects. So I'd probably tone it down a little bit. And the only other thing other than that is just, it's a little bit weird that basically under the pier right here, we can see all this detail, and then outside of this area, it goes to pitch black. So we get black up here, we get black over here, we get black right here, black over here. It's kind of a sign of a little bit of processing, because if we can see detail in this area, we should at least be able to see a bit of detail up here. So it tells me that we've done quite a bit of processing on the image, and it kind of throws me out of the scene. But I love the composition. I love where you're going with it. I think it's a great overall story that it's telling. I think, you know, everything from, you know, what you've done here is awesome. I think just the processing can be just a bit better. And again, that's another easy fix. It's just on the processing side, run it back through and tone it down just a little bit. And I think you'll really dig the final results. One thing I like to do with images like this too is really bump up the warmth in the images to give it that nice sunset tone, like these nice oranges and kind of reds in the scene. It'll look really great. All right, so great job. And let's go on to Girl with a Dandelion. This is by Marcel LR. This is the first photo here in SLR Lounge, so welcome, Marcel. It's on a 60D 18 to 55 IS2, 1/60 of a second, f/5.6 at 55mm on his lens at ISO 800. And it was produced with the SLR Lounge presets. Well, awesome. I like that. Okay, so let's jump into this photo. I have it pulled up here right in Flickr. And I really love most everything about this image. I think it's great from the lighting. We have really nice soft light on her. We have a beautiful model. We have great subject matter with her holding this dandelion. And the only thing that I think could add a little bit of interest story-wise is if she was kind of blowing on the dandelion, or if it was just after she blew on the dandelion, so we get kind of the seeds up in the air and we just see a little bit more kind of these particles. I think it would add a little bit of extra interest to it. Now, on the production side, or on the cropping side rather, there's a couple things that are a little bit distracting. And Number one, basically, when we're shooting from the skin side of the shoulder, so basically from the broad side of the body where we don't have objects covering, we end up revealing a lot of skin. And so what ends up being a little bit distracting is the amount of skin that we're showing on the left side of the image. Ways that you can kind of fix that is by bringing the hair over to the other side. But if you're going for this look, then another easy way you can do it is just by cropping out this left side. If you don't crop it out, I'd at least recommend removing the clear strap line on her clear bra strap right there. You can just easily clone that out. But let me actually show you exactly what I mean with this cropping thing. Let me do this. I'm going to do a little internet cropping here. All right, so let's just grab this tab off there. I'm going to shrink it down. And this is what I'm saying. Right now we reveal a lot. That's my phone going off. We reveal a lot of skin, and it kind of makes her look bigger than she actually is. It's not very flattering, but check this out. If we can conceal this left side of the image, watch how it just automatically basically slims her down. And she's already very skinny to begin with, so we don't need to like slim her down. We just need to show that she is, you know, very skinny. So it's a much more flattering look. And we can crop out this entire left side, still have the story, and in my opinion, have a more compelling story because it allows us to focus on the important stuff, and you're not really missing anything by not having that to the left. All right, so that's kind of my little critique on this one, is just kind of cropping out the left side. If you don't want to do that, at least take out the bra strap. But the other thing you can do when you're shooting is bring the hair over to the left side. If that doesn't work, keep it on the right side, just crop tighter and get a little nice blow on the dandelions, and that'd be great. The last one little tiny thing, I'm going to nitpick a little bit. I would recommend not cropping off at finger joints. Basically just cropping at joints in general we don't want to do. So either kind of crop up so high that we only see the dandelion in the frame, or crop so we can see at least the bottom of her wrist, but not right at the fingers. You can just do that basically by adjusting your hand position as well. All right, so great job with that photo. I love it. All right, so let's go on to the next image. This is Beauty and Light by Al Green, and I just noticed a comment on here. Guys, this is not a constructive comment, and I would highly recommend, if you guys don't leave constructive comments, we will remove them, and I'm actually going to remove this one right now. If it continues, we'll have to remove you from the forum, unfortunately. We want to keep this place very constructive and keep it uplifting. We have, just be mature, guys. All right. So this is shot by Al Green. Unfortunately, we don't have any information on how this was shot, but from what I see, it looks really nice. We have a great lighting effect. It's very soft lighting. You have a nice big modifier on there. We even have a hair light, or at least we have some of that light kind of giving us that rim light on the hair, which looks really nice as well. I would not probably crop right at this elbow. It looks like you could probably just adjust this in post-production, but the crop of the elbow is just a little bit weird for me. It kind of creates a strange form in the arm right here. That's the only thing I'd really critique. Other than that, I think it's a great portrait. I love the lighting. I love how it's kind of falling off towards the bottom of the image and kind of getting darker. I really dig that look for these kind of more dark and dramatic portraits. So great job, Al. That's the only comment I really have, is just on that. If we had a little more information on how it was shot, we could probably give you a little bit more, but otherwise, good job. Let's go on to The Pier. This is by Jack Chaskell. This is The Pier. Hey guys, shot my friend's senior portrait today. Headed out to Old Orchard Beach in Maine. All right, it looked like it was chilly and windy, but it got some good shots. Let's see, this is the first time doing portraits, and it looks like you did a great job. You have a D3200, 1/250th of a second, f4.2, and ISO 100 on a 50 to 200 millimeter lens. Now it looks like you're zoomed out pretty far, which is great. We got a lot of nice compression in the background and foreground, where we're pulling these foreground and background elements closer and kind of giving a lot of added interest in the shot. I dig it. I like the symmetrical composition. I think you have just enough room also above the head for cropping and whatnot. So I think overall it's a really nice shot. Now, the only thing I think I would change with this shot or make a little bit different, I think we can get her to just kind of kick the hip a little bit more, or exaggerate the form just a little bit more to get a little bit more curve in that spine. Right now, it looks like she's standing weighted on one foot, but it's just a little bit flat-footed as far as we don't have any curve in the spine, and that really brings out a lot of extra femininity in these kind of shots. But great job with the image. I dig the processing as well. I think the black and white works out really well for this image. So let's go on to this week's weekly winner. This is Baseball Picture. And let's see, this is by Mo Photos. He took this a couple weeks ago, sun pitching, and one got away from him and hit the batter. My son does not intend to hurt anyone. One just got away. It's like, I like that you're kind of explaining, like, he does not have any malintent. But I think, Mo, that we know that he doesn't have any malintent, because look at his expression. He's like, oh my gosh, I'm going to actually hit him. So you can tell he already feels bad, and it looks like the ball hasn't even quite hit the other player yet, or if he has, well, he hasn't yet had the expression. But anyway, this was shot on a 6D exposure, 2500 of a second, aperture f9, focal length 200 millimeters, ISO speed 640 on a 70-300 lens. And overall, I think you guys probably know why I'm selecting this as the winner this week. We have a great composition here. It looks awesome, and we have an absolutely priceless expression. I mean, this could not have been timed any better, where we have this hilarious expression on his face that he just made a mistake, and this kid over here that's unfortunately getting hit by this baseball, it has a lot of storytelling power in this image, and that's why I love it. That's why we're selecting it for the winner this week, because of that storytelling capability. Now, there's one thing that I would say would make this image just a bit better, and it's regarding the color scheme, because we don't have a very consistent color scheme in this shot. We have these kind of naturey greens back here, a bold yellow streak going through the shot in this fence. We have the brown tones, green tones, we have orange shirt, blue helmet and bat, just a lot of kind of mixture in color. And generally with this type of scene, especially because we have this wonderful expression going on, I would probably switch this to black and white and just keep it kind of that priceless look where we focus on not anything else, not the color or anything in the image other than just that expression. I think black and white would really do that for you. It'd be great if this if the baseball was actually still in the air, we saw it in the frame, but I think, well, you wouldn't be able to capture the expression because he probably wouldn't have had that expression quite yet. All right, so great job, Mo. Be sure to send us an email at contact@slrlounge.com to claim your $50 gift certificate. That's it for this week's Constructive Critique, and I'll see you all in the next video.